Hi, bud.
Hi, bud.
Hi, bud.
Hi, bud.
Hello.
This is my girlfriend, Alyssa.
And this is my girlfriend, Lauren.
There are so many things I wish I knew when I was younger.
Like what, Lauren?
I think honestly something that I really wish that I had taken to heart when I was young was it's okay to be cringe. Being cringe is not that big of a deal. And also, you shouldn't be judging other people for being cringe, because I think a lot of times being cringe is being interested in something.
Yeah.
That maybe not everybody loves.
Yeah. I think that's so smart. I mean, I feel like when you're young, you want to be such an individual.
Yeah.
And you really don't have to put that much pressure on it, because in reality, we're all individuals, but we also have all got a lot in common. And it's really special when you connect with somebody on liking the same things.
Yeah, I feel like it was so, if you have unique interests, which everyone does, fine.
You're all special.
You're all special. We sound like moms. I feel like, baby, you're special.
We love you.
Thinking about the people who call us mothers in the comments, I'm like, you're little baby.
You're my babies.
And you're special.
I'm swaddling you.
You're being, can you imagine if you commented that back to somebody? You're like,
I'm swaddling you right now.
picture yourself swaddled.
Mother is swaddling.
Anyway, it's so fun to connect with people over niche interests.
One of the big things that I wish I knew when I was young is do your best not to do things to impress other people.
Yeah.
Do things to impress yourself. I think I'm all for posting a cute Instagram story to try and get somebody to notice you. I think that's totally fine.
That's
but
love.
saying things that you don't mean for other people always comes back to bite you in the butt, because they're liking you for a version of you that isn't real.
Yeah.
And why? I think you should just always try to mean everything you say as much as you can, because accidents will happen and you'll say things you don't mean. So just avoid it as much as possible, and you have to live with your decisions. Nobody else has to live with your decisions. It's all on you.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's you, baby.
It's you, woo woo.
It's you, woo woo. Another thing I wish I knew when I was younger is not everyone or everything deserves your time and energy. I feel especially growing up gay, a lot of the time I almost felt the need to defend myself online to strangers who didn't know anything about me. And at the end of the day, it just made me feel worse. Even though I knew I was right and I knew they were wrong.
I understand, I think. It's the same thing as when you start getting into an obsessive state about something and you're ruminating on it, even if you're not the one who's doing the bad thing, it's a negative impact on your life. So it almost helps to separate yourself from it and say that it's not worth your time to think about it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about hate comments too.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't read them, the hateful ones, or if I do, blocked. You're blocked.
I'm constantly blocking people.
I love to block people.
My favorite tip for anybody who gets hate comments on social media is if you see a hate comment, go and respond to a nice comment, because there's so many nice comments that we see that we don't respond to. I mean, me bragging about having a lot of comments. But give your time to the positive.
Yeah, I think last year I spent a lot of time engaging with negative comments, and at the end of the day,
it's
it's just
hard.
Yeah, it affects me sometimes, but recently what I've been doing is just immediate block. I don't just delete the comment, I block. And I'll do it to followers sometimes. Followers will say something very off-putting to me, and I say, your popular privileges have been revoked.
Revoked. You're cut off.
Go entertain yourself without my videos.
If you're changing a bunch of things about yourself for a relationship, it's probably not a good relationship to be in.
Yeah.
And what I mean by this is I've been in lots of relationships where I've been trying to be a perfect girlfriend, or even a perfect friend, and trying to constantly be there for that person, which is great. Be there for your friends, be there for your partners, but also you are a person and you're not going to be perfect, and you are disservicing yourself and the person who you're in whatever relationship you're in with, because you're really just not being honest about how you feel.
Yeah.
And you're probably not gonna end up continuing your relationship with that person.
Yeah.
And that's partially your fault, and it's okay.
I think it goes back to like what you were saying earlier about like meaning what you say. Like you don't want to like become a version of yourself that doesn't feel true to who you are.
Yeah.
Because if that other person ends up like turning away and leaving, like you've like changed so much of yourself, and for what?
And obviously, like, take on the good qualities of your friends and partners. Like, since I've been with Lauren, I'm eating breakfast. That's great. I think that's a good change.
And since I've been with Alyssa, I'm nicer to people. I'll be honest. I don't think I was ever a mean person.
No, you're very, I mean, you've been nice since I've known you.
But I think you've made me...
She was a bully in elementary school.
Early elementary school. I was a little bully, but then I grew out of it and became an academic scholar.
Yeah, she was too smart, like Einstein.
Yeah. That's me. Einstein.
My little big-brained girl.
I think one of the most important things I've learned recently is you don't have to understand someone's feelings to respect them and be like, yeah, that's okay. I think a lot of the time when I was younger and people would like tell me like, oh, I'm upset for this reason, even if it didn't have to do with me. Say it was like a friend venting about a situation that didn't involve me. If I couldn't like understand why she was upset, I'd be like, girl, I don't get it. But I think now I'm at a point in my life where like it doesn't really matter if I get it. Like if a friend is reaching out for support, like just give it to them as long as it's not harmful. Like as long as you're not supporting like toxic behavior.
Yeah.
I think it's like sometimes I think we can all reflect, and sometimes there are just feelings that don't really make sense, but they're still there and they still need to be like kind of seen. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me. The important thing is that somebody's telling you that something has affected them. And if you care about them, you care about that. So whether they're happy, they're sad, whatever, you don't have to understand it to care about them.
Yeah.
And react with care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about empathy.
Like, you don't have to like understand it at all to be able to be like, that stinks.
Yeah.
Or that's great.
Yeah, you could be sympathetic to them. You don't have to like
Yeah.
be crying on their behalf, but you could be like, oh, I see that you're hurting, and that is upsetting.
And sometimes it's annoying when somebody's crying on your behalf.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
Oh.
Actually, that's me.
Oh,
Every time Lauren cries, I'm like,
yeah, I feel like it's hard like when someone's apologizing to you, but then you have to comfort them.
yes, that stinks.
Oh,
Don't do that. I feel like this is so huge, and it's like talked about by people who are like slightly older than us, so we don't think about it as much. But like, you're not always gonna have the same body that you had for your
Oh.
entire life.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. You're not gonna have the same body that you had in high school. You're not gonna have the same body that you had in middle school, elementary school, anytime. Like, we're in our 20s, and I've gone through so many changes, and it's okay. And you just get different clothes,
Yeah.
and it's okay.
Your clothes are meant to fit you.
Yes.
You're not supposed to fit your clothes forever.
Yeah.
You don't want to hold your body to a standard that isn't healthy or isn't achievable.
Yeah. I mean, comparison can kill you, even if it's comparing yourself to a past version of yourself.
At the end of the day, there's no need to envy your former body if it's changed, because that's just a different version of you, and you're a different version of you now, and you shouldn't be punished for evolving, you know?
My final thing that I wanted to share is that not all gossip is bad.
Oh,
A lot of times, things that women historically love are treated as bad. But I think a lot of times, gossip is a way that we use to keep ourselves safe. And like, I think you should not be afraid to talk with your friends about things that you think are not okay.
yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're like spreading awareness about like maybe a dangerous situation, a dangerous person, whatever. It can be seen kind of as like this like surface level gossip of like, oh, you're just
Yeah.
trash talking somebody, but it's like, no, this person can really like affect you. This situation
Yeah.
can really affect you.
Obviously, think before you speak. We're taught that every day of school growing up. I think we have to look out for each other. So if it's a gossip that needs to be heard, then you spread it.
Exactly. That's what I got, bug.
Great. That was good. I think your lives are gonna be better now.
And you're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right, you little goobers.
Yeah, viewers.
Make sure to hit that like button, leave a little comment.
Subscribe.
Subscribe and ding that bell.
Ding ding. Let us know if you have any specific advice questions too.
Yeah, or if you have a piece of advice that you wish you knew when you were younger, comment it below.
I want to know it.
I would like to know it too. I'm always learning. Like Einstein.
Like Einstein. Okay. Bye-bye, bug.
Bye, bug.
Bye, bugs. My stomach just growled. I hope they didn't hear it.
I did.